What's going on, guys? This is Eddie, the African Red Pill. Welcome to the video. I haven't been posting for like a week and some days. I wasn't well. Now I'm back. So in today's video, we're talking about Thomas Sowell. His perspective about envy, which is a destructive force of liberals. Don't get it wrong. I'm not into politics. There was a time when I had a liberal mindset. The reason why some years back, the reason why I used to have a liberal mindset was because I believe in freedom of speech, freedom of choice, freedom of everything. Back when I used to have a liberal mindset, I used to look down on people who've got a conservative mindset because there's somehow an authoritative mindset to it. Not until the liberals or people with liberal ideas or ideals became dictatorial or authoritative did I come to realize that actually being conservative is the best. I'm not into politics, but I just have a conservative mindset. So let's take a look at Thomas Sowell, discuss our topic for today.
A plastic surgeon of Chinese ancestry in Sydney, Australia, may not sound like an average individual, but the moral of his story is all too common in countries around the world. Born in Malaysia, this plastic surgeon was in one of many high-level positions occupied by the Chinese minority and coveted by the Malay majority. Moreover, under the country's affirmative action policies, he understood that his days as a plastic surgeon were numbered. He took it all without bitterness, offering to stay on to treat disfigured children and others until a Malay plastic surgeon was available to replace him. But he missed the point. They wanted him out of there, whether or not there was a Malay to replace him, and whether or not disfigured people had anyone else to turn to. The surgeon relocated to Australia, where he was apparently doing quite well by the time I encountered him. The real victims of the Malaysian government's policies were still in Malaysia. This dog-in-the-manger approach is by no means peculiar to Malaysia. Envy of others' success and embarrassment at being visibly unable to match their performance have been political driving forces behind many programs of preferences and quotas. When Romania acquired additional territory from the defeated Central Powers after the First World War, it also acquired universities which were culturally either German or Hungarian. One of their top priorities was to get rid of the Germans and the Hungarians on the faculties and transform the universities into Romanian bastions. At that point, roughly 3/4 of all Romanians were still illiterate, so replacing these foreign professors with Romanians of comparable caliber was very unlikely. But replacement was not the issue. Getting rid of those who were better qualified was the issue. Despite all the zeal expended in converting German and Hungarian universities in the new provinces of Bukovina and Transylvania into Romanian universities, there was no urgency at all about creating a university in the province of Bessarabia, where none existed. Moreover, when Hungarian students living in Romania began going to Hungary to attend universities there, the Romanian government forbade them to do so. What is involved is not just envy. It is the threat to one's ego that is crucial in promoting dog-in-the-manger policies. When Nigeria became an independent nation back in the 1960s, many of the educated, skilled business and professional people in northern Nigeria were from tribes in southern Nigeria. One of the top priorities of northern Nigerian politicians was to get rid of such people. The hope was to replace them eventually with northern Nigerians. But in the meantime, the northern Nigerians wanted them out of there, even if they had to hire Europeans to replace them or suffer a deterioration of the services being performed by the southern Nigerians. Having Europeans in these occupations was far less of a threat to the ego than having fellow Africans so dramatically outperforming the locals. Such attitudes are not unknown in the United States, whether or not ethnic or racial differences are involved. The same dog in the manger can be found when the issue is class. Liberals have never ceased denouncing Ronald Reagan's tax cuts for the rich in the early 1980s, despite the actual results, including a record-breaking period of economic expansion. After the tax rate was cut on the highest income brackets and on others, not only did the total tax receipts rise, but the percentage of those receipts paid by the rich also rose. Why then were the liberals unhappy? Because those in the upper brackets paid these vastly greater taxes out of rising incomes, while retaining a higher percentage of those incomes for themselves. The dog and the manger principle requires that the rich be made worse off. Any policy that fails to do that has failed politically, regardless of what economic benefits it may bring to the society as a whole. While such attitudes are sufficiently widespread around the world that they cannot be attributed to a particular culture, neither are they inevitable. Very often, the key ingredient in the rise of explosive resentments is the rise of an intelligentsia preoccupied with invidious comparisons rather than general well-being. Ironically, all too often, the rich themselves have been the patrons of such intellectuals, whether of the universities, the foundations, or other institutions supported by their donations.
One thing I have noticed about people with a liberal mindset is they don't operate on logic, they operate with emotions. If anything challenges their emotions, then all hell will break loose. You won't debate, you won't conversate in a logical manner. It will be all about emotions. That's one thing I've noticed about people with a liberal mindset. I've seen this with a lot of African Americans. I don't even like debating them online because they are always emotional about topics instead of being logical and argue logically. They argue emotionally, which leads to nowhere. That's one thing I don't like about people with a liberal mindset. I'm somebody who had a liberal mindset, so I know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So envy, which is led by emotions, is the driving force to the downfall of liberals. Do you know the whole reason why people with a communist, socialist mindset are slowly infiltrating and penetrating liberal states? It's because you fuckers operate on emotions. And envy, instead of working harder so that you can become better in life, you'll be envious of somebody who's doing better than you. Instead of getting rid of foreign nationals who are more qualified than you, instead of getting rid of them logically by you becoming educated so that you can become better than them, you use emotions. Emotions which leads to downfalls if you don't have qualified people to operate in certain areas. This is where we're heading. Have you seen what's happening? I'm in Africa, but I'm really concerned with what's happening in America. Because if America fails, if America gets to have a downfall, the whole world will be affected. I'd rather have America as a superpower than China. China, I'll give you an example. One of the countries which operate on communism is North Korea. That's where we're headed to if China was to be a superpower. All countries will be in the same calamity as North Korea, and probably only China will be or would be a developed state. All of us will be in that state. There is a saying which says, the devil you know is better than an angel you don't know. America might have its own issues, whatever, but having China as the leading superpower, I wouldn't want to take that chance. No. Hope you learned something from Thomas Sowell. I learned something. I'm always learning something every day. So this is where I'm gonna end my video. If you enjoyed this topic, hit like, comment if you can. If you react to the video, it helps to push in the algorithm. It helps for the growth of this channel, of which a few months ago I had 50 subscribers. Now I've got over 100. I'm optimistic that I can reach 1,000 subscribers soon. Then we'll take it from there. Hit like, comment. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.